Hello my friends, it is September the 18th of 2024. This video is about the band Tool. I'm going to rank their albums. I've been a big fan of Tool since I was a teenager. I really do enjoy this band quite a bit. And so I decided that it's time to rank their albums. I'm really looking forward to this. This is going to be very exciting. Okay, so I'm going to rank these albums from my least favorite to my most favorite. And like I always say, this is completely subjective. You may feel differently, and that's perfectly fine. Okay, let's get right into this. Alright, so coming in at number 6 is Opiate. This album was released in 1992. This is actually an EP. The rest of their albums are full lengths. Unfortunately, I had to rank this album lowest. It's such a fantastic album though. When I was 16, a friend of mine from high school, he was big into Tool, and he borrowed me their first two albums, which is Opiate and Undertow, and I recall listening to them quite a bit, those albums. Then of course about a year later I would purchase those albums, and so yeah, I definitely listened to this album quite a bit, and I have this album on vinyl as well. It's definitely interesting hearing Tool in their earlier days. I mean, this music is quite heavy, and you can definitely hear the aggression quite a bit. There's definitely quite a bit of anger here within these songs, and there are a couple of live tracks on here as well. The production is decent. It's a little bit rough around the edges, but overall still pretty good. I mean, the musicianship in here is still pretty good. Of course, Tool would definitely go on to become more progressive sounding and really alter or change their sound, of course. But yeah, it's definitely nice hearing them in their earlier stages here. Some of my favorite songs on this album would be Sweat, Hush, and the title track Opiate. Great album. Okay, so coming in at number 6 is Opiate. Alright, coming at number 5 is 10,000 Days. This album came out in 2006. Yeah, I must have been about 19 when this album came out. I remember hearing the song Vicarious quite a bit at that time. Really do enjoy that song quite a bit, and there are some other songs in here that are fantastic as well. Although, to me, this album, honestly, it's a little bit maybe somewhat boring at times. I feel like there's maybe it kind of just drags out a little bit at times maybe. Overall, just a fantastic album. It's still a very, very good album, and there are some fantastic songs in here. Excellent production, of course, and great musicianship from all the members of the band, of course. And yeah, just really do enjoy this album. But like I said, it's not as accessible to me compared to their other albums. But I still enjoy some of the songs on this album. Some of my favorites would be Vicarious, The Pot, and Right in Two. So overall, pretty good album, but in my opinion, definitely not one of their best albums. Okay, so coming in at number 5 is 10,000 Days. Alright, coming in at number 4 is Fear Inoculum. This album came out in 2019. I actually only purchased this album about not that long ago, in fact, maybe 4 or 5 months ago. I don't know why I had not purchased this album back when it came out back in 2019. I guess I wasn't really listening to Tool at that time that much, and I just kind of dismissed it. And I think the price tag was quite high, but I decided to go ahead and purchase this album. It was a little bit pricey. I think I paid about $60 or $65 for this album. Very elaborate book. I mean, the packaging is quite elaborate. Very nice. There's quite a bit of graphics in there and whatnot. Yeah, it looks really, really good. And the music on here is just phenomenal. It's better than what I expected. I definitely overlooked this album, unfortunately, and I've really been enjoying this album quite a bit since I purchased it. And yeah, some really fantastic songs in here. It definitely sounds a little bit different from their other albums, but of course all their albums sound different from one another. But yeah, great album right here. Some of my favorite songs on this one would be Fear Inoculum, which is of course the title track, Numina, and Descending. So yeah, just a phenomenal album right here. Really do enjoy this one quite a bit. Okay, so coming in at number 4 is Fear Inoculum. Coming in at number 3 is Undertow. This album came out in 1993. Just an absolute masterpiece right here. Really do enjoy this album so much, and yeah, this would have been one of those albums I listened to quite a bit when I was like 16, 17, and I would have purchased this album when I was probably about 17 or so, and I listened to it a lot, and I've listened to this album so much throughout the years. I mean, there's just so many great songs on this album, so many memorable and meaningful songs with just great lyrics, and yeah, just such a phenomenal album. Yeah, I could go on. I could go on and on about this album and just how incredible it is, because it really is. And but yeah, some of my favorite songs on this album would be "Intolerance," "Prison Sex," "Sober," and "Crawl Away." Yeah, just a masterpiece right here. Okay, so coming in at number 3 is Undertow. Alright, coming in at number 2 is Lateralis. This album came out in 2001. Yeah, I do recall when this album came out. I remember hearing the song Schism quite a bit. So I would have been in my early teens at the time. I suppose I would have been about, I believe, about 15. Yeah, I would have been in grade 10 at that time. And yeah, I wasn't really a big fan of Tool at that time. I mean, obviously I was familiar with them, and I was just starting to hear about them and hear some of their songs. But I really hadn't, I hadn't really got into them all that much. I mean, it was only maybe 3 or 4 years after that, after this album was released, that I actually purchased this copy right here. And this album, it definitely took me a while to get into. I was kind of unsure about it. I definitely enjoyed some of it, of what I was hearing, some of the songs, but I kind of overlooked it maybe for quite a number of years. But when I eventually got into this album, I was just absolutely blown away, because this album is just absolutely phenomenal from start to finish. Such a deep album, so complex, and so many great songs and various interludes that are very interesting as well. The end of the album is just really exciting as well. It's very unique, and yeah, this album it's just great. Such a great album, and I just love it so much. I mean, there's so many great songs in here, but some of my favorites would be The Grudge, The Patient, Parabola, Ticks and Leeches, and the title track, Lateralis. Okay, so coming in at number 2 is Lateralis. Alright, and at number 1 is Aenima. Okay, this album came out in 1996. Absolute masterpiece, of course. 10 out of 10 right here. I mean, this album is just absolutely phenomenal. So many great songs. Of course, the production and everything, the musicianship is just amazing, as usual. I mean, this album is so great. And Tool fans, of course, just love this album so much, and just fans of hard rock and heavy metal in general just enjoy this album. I mean, it's just a classic. But yeah, so many great songs in here. Some of my favorites would be Stink Fist, Eulogy, H, Hooker with a Penis, and the title track, Aenima. Yeah, just a very great album. I don't know what else to say about it. It's just excellent. Okay, so coming in at number 1 is Aenima. Okay, so those are my album rankings for the band Tool. What a phenomenal band. I just enjoy their music so much. They have some just absolutely amazing albums, and be great if they would release another album. I have heard that they are working on a new album, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. Okay, so let me know what you think. Leave some comments. I'm always curious to know what you guys think. Let me know what your album rankings are for the band Tool. Okay, that'd be great. Please let me know. Okay, so otherwise I'm doing okay. I've been pretty busy with all sorts of different things. I will be making a big announcement regarding my band Ordo Ab Ko. It's concerning my upcoming 3rd full-length album. So I will be revealing everything about that album within the next few weeks. So definitely look out for that. I'm very excited about this new album. I've worked so hard on it, and it's been a long process, a long and miserable process, but it's nearly completed now, so I'm really looking forward to yeah, releasing the album. Alright, okay, so I want to say thank you very much for watching, and I want to say thanks to all the people who watch my videos and subscribe to my channel. I really truly appreciate it. Take care, my friends. Cheers.